All right, we are going to get started. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining the SUNY Niagara Nursing Information Session. We know there's a great deal of interest in these programs, so we hope that this session will be informative and help you prepare as you apply for the fall 2027 semester. First, I'd like to go over a few housekeeping items. Everyone will remain muted throughout the presentation. If you can take a moment before we begin and update your name so that we're able to take attendance, that would be great. We will send a follow-up email to everyone who attends the session today. Additionally, the chat will remain disabled, and we will answer the questions submitted during registration at the end of the presentation. So to start, we're going to go over some introductions. My name is Emily Secord. I'm an admissions recruiter here at SUNY Niagara. Joining us today, we have Nicole Sidor, our Assistant Director of Admissions, Kate Scouten, one of our success coaches, and then Martha Kershaw, the Dean of the College of Nursing, Physical, and Allied Health. All right, so we're going to kick things off with just talking about the application and the admission requirements. So to apply for nursing, so that would be the nursing associate program, the nurse or the practical nursing certificate program. Those applications for fall 2027 will open on August 31st at 8 a.m. The preferred application deadline to submit your applications and all supporting documents is February 1st at 5 p.m. The applications for both our nursing programs will close July 15th at 5 p.m. In nursing and practical nursing are fall admission only. So all applicants must meet the following requirements for our nursing programs. You must have a high school diploma or equivalency diploma, a minimum overall high school average of 80%, or a minimum 2.75 for the last 5 years of all colleges attended, or successful completion of high school level chemistry or biology with a minimum grade of 85. That would be for the nursing program, or 80 for the practical nursing program, or a college level biology course with a lab, or college level chemistry course with a lab with a minimum grade of C. For the high school courses, they do have to be Regents level or equivalent. If you attended high school outside of New York State and you would like either of those courses to be considered, you would have to get a syllabus from the course and have it reviewed by our academic departments. For the GPA, for applicants that have no college credits completed within the last 5 years, we're going to take the most recent credits, adding up to 12 to calculate your GPA. If you have taken a science course in high school and you want that considered, please note that all science labs must be in person. All right, so this section basically talks about our placement testing. So you must have satisfactory completion of all academic foundation requirements to be accepted into the program. Applicants must earn a minimum required score on placement assessments or pass the academic foundation courses listed below at SUNY Niagara or another institution. These academic foundation courses do not count towards the degree, and you may be waived from placement testing based on your transcript. So when you fill out an application to SUNY Niagara for nursing or practical nursing, you're going to see in your application portal red X next to math placement and reading placement. And that's going to remain up until we have all of your transcripts. Most of the time, once we get your transcripts, they'll be reviewed and we can waive you from placement testing. But if it's determined that you need testing, we will send you instructions via email. Current applicants with less than 12 college credits will have their overall high school GPA used for ranking. Those applicants who have 12 credits, college credits or more, will be ranked by a cumulative GPA for the last 5 years that includes all colleges attended. The GPA for the applicant must meet the minimum 2.75. Students who have had a grade of less than passing, so anything below a C in 2 nursing courses at SUNY Niagara or other institutions, are not eligible for our nursing programs. Students who have had a grade of less than passing, so anything below a C, and 2 of the same required bio courses at SUNY Niagara or other institutions are not eligible. For the bio requirement, this means that if you For example, failed anatomy and physiology 1 lecture. So if you got a C minus and then you took it again and you got a D, then you would not be eligible for the programs. Applications will be reviewed on a rolling basis, with the first acceptances to the program being issued in March for the next fall semester. Based on the nursing admissions ranking system, meeting program admission requirements does not guarantee acceptance into the nursing program. Admission is based on the academic qualifications of the student and space availability. Completion of all admission criteria are required prior to the preferred deadline of February 1st at 5 p.m. in order to be given priority to be considered for the designated term. Those who complete the requirements after February 1st will be considered in ranking order as seats become available. I am going to pass this over to Nicole Sidor to talk about the next few slides.
So as far as when and how to apply, if you are a current SUNY Niagara student, you would fill out a change of major form or application that's located in Banner Web. And if you are eligible already, you can submit your change of major application on or after August 31st. Those that submit the change of major application before February 1st will be sent a decision stating that the student is eligible but pending ranking, and there's no seat that's guaranteed. Ineligible students who are working on completing their eligibility requirements in the fall will need to wait to submit their change of major application after fall grades post. So fill out that change of major once you are eligible. And please note that you must remain a SUNY Niagara student through spring 2027 if you plan to fill out a change of major form. That's very important because if you get a spot as a continuing student and then you're no longer continuing, you would lose your spot or a place on the wait list as well. Next slide. For new transfer readmit students, you will fill out a new application that's located on our website, sunyniagara.edu/apply. If you are an eligible student, you can submit your application on or after August 31st. The application will be reviewed once it's complete for eligibility, and a decision will be sent out stating if the student is eligible. They'll get that pending ranking letter as well. Again, no seat is guaranteed. If the student is enrolled in courses during the fall 2026 semester at another institution, they would need to order the official transcript to be sent directly to SUNY Niagara after fall grades post. For ineligible students, they must wait to submit their application after they become eligible. So if they're working on their eligibility, they would submit their application and transcripts after their fall grades post. And for our ranking system, we do have the quality point ranking system posted online in our catalog. We start with the qualifying cross-cumulative GPA at a max of 4 points. And then we add on the courses that you take toward the nursing degree. So we have anatomy and physiology 1 in lab, 2 in lab, and micro. So for taking the bios here at SUNY Niagara and the higher grades you get more points. Minimum grades for ranking for the courses that go toward the degree would be a C or better. Next slide. And then we also have general pharmacology, intro to psychology, developmental psychology, intro to sociology, and writing 1. And so all of these courses need to be grade of C or higher, again, getting an extra half a point for taking them here versus transferring them from elsewhere. Next slide. And we also have other qualifiers, including current employment in healthcare for at least 6 months as an LPN, CNA, CMA, surgical tech, medical assistant, or EMG. A completion of any college degree, a completion of any college certificate program, military service, and volunteer service in healthcare for a minimum of 20 hours. And in order to have these points applied as part of your ranking system, you would have to provide the following documents. So for completion of degrees or certificates, we would need those official transcripts and or the copy of the certificate. For the current employment, we would need a copy of LPN, CNA, CMA, surgical tech, or EMT license, and a letter from the employer directly to our admissions email verifying dates of employment. For military service, we need a copy of a DD 214 or a copy of military record brief, ERB, SRB, SURF, etc. And for volunteer service, we would need a letter or an email on agency letterhead from that organization where the volunteer work was performed, including the dates and total number of hours completed. And again, that goes directly from them to the admissions email. As far as transfer credits, there are a couple ways you can check that online. So we do have the link there for you on our website. There is a self-service or track you can check out, a course equivalency guide you can also take a look at. And then there is an unofficial transcript evaluation that the Records Office Transfer Credit Coordinator conducts, but you filling out the form online and then providing copies of your unofficial transcripts. After students get accepted, they do automatically get an official transfer credit review. If you have any questions about that, you would contact the records office or the transfer email listed there. Please note that SUNY Niagara does not accept transfer credits for courses specific to nursing programs completed at other colleges. So you would have to start over here in either the RN or LPN lectures, labs, and clinicals if you've taken them elsewhere already. And we just have our contact information here for the admissions office with our phone number and email. You would want to contact our office for any nursing admissions requirements. The nursing program sets those and we follow them to review applications for eligibility and to rank them if they are eligible. And so any questions about your application, the ranking system, your eligibility or waitlist status, those are all things you would contact us for. And you would also contact us and send to our admissions email or direct your employer or the volunteer organization to send any other documents for ranking to that admissions email as well. So that's it for the admissions part of the presentation. I'm going to pass it over to Kate for the student success side and how you can get support from them as a student.
Hi, everyone. So in the Student Success Center, we have success coaches. They are different than your academic advisor. Your success coach is going to be your campus support person. And it's based on majors, or if you fall into any of these specific categories, such as student athletes, if you're an international student, if you are part of the SUNY Reconnect program, or if you are on academic notice, which means that your college GPA is below a 2.0 with classes that you've taken with us. For more information about the Student Success Center, I've put the link here, and then you can see our contact information in the bottom right, phone number, and our email if you ever need to get a hold of us. And then, as I said, you have an academic advisor and a success coach. So for pre-nursing advisement and registration, you will see your academic advisor first and discuss what co-requisite classes, so classes that you can take that go towards the program. You can take those before the program or during the program. And then your success coach is the person who assists you with registering, add drop, withdrawing from classes, and connecting you to other campus resources. For block scheduling, so incoming nursing students, we follow the block registration process to get you registered for your first semester. After your first semester, you would go back to registering as you would the rest of our student population, where you'd see your academic advisor, discuss your classes, and then either register on your own or see your success coach. to go through the block registration process. Once you are accepted, you will get an email asking you to submit a block registration form by the deadline. Be sure to check your TWO's email, as that's where it will go once you're accepted. The form gives you the opportunity to select from several different pre-made schedule options. Any transfer credit you already earned will not be included on your schedule. For example, if you already passed Intro to Psychology, you would not be registered for that. The registration coordinator then force registers you into those courses so that you don't need to log into Bannerweb to add courses. And then once that happens, you do receive a hard copy of your schedule in the mail, as well as a next steps checklist with remaining items to complete.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about the program. Our nursing program involves lecture, lab, and clinical in every semester over the 2 years of the program, also over the year of the PN program. The RN program is 2 years, the PN program is 1 full year. Lectures are always Tuesday, Thursday. Lab can be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, and clinical can be any other day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Clinical involves experiences in different areas, long-term care, maternity, medical, surgical nursing, and then we get into disease-specific areas, renal oncology, cardiac respiratory, ortho neuro, pediatric, psychiatric, and community-based experiences. We definitely use sites all throughout the Western New York area, Niagara County, Erie County, Orleans County, Genesee County. We do need you to know that you're responsible for transportation to clinical sites. We can't guarantee that we could put you on a bus line or anything like that. So please be aware that you do need to get yourself to and from your clinical sites. Our practical nursing program, as I mentioned, does involve lecture, lab, and clinical in every semester. This is an evening program and it's a full year, 12 months. The lecture is also Tuesday, Thursday. Lab is Tuesday, Thursday after lecture, and clinical is Monday or Wednesday. Clinical involves experiences in the same areas as the RN program. And again, students are responsible for transportation to the clinical sites, and we do use clinical sites throughout the Western New York area, similar to the RN program. Oh, nice. My lights turned off. Fun. You do have to, it does require clearance to go to clinical, so you need to be cleared with no restrictions. We do ask each year for a physical, so there's a physical form that your provider will fill out each year. We're requiring that before you start the program, so it's due on the first day of the program. You also need a 2-step TB test, or there's a simpler quantiferin test. That's a 1-step test. We also require a flu shot. We require basic life support for the healthcare provider, which you can get through our workforce program. You do need to purchase, in addition to your books, a uniform and equipment, which are all available through our bookstore. We do require in the nursing, all the courses that you have to take for the nursing program, regardless of whether it's the RN or PN program, we do require you to be in class. So we need class, lab, and clinical presence and engagement. You will do better if you're present in class and engage with your instructor and prepare before you come to class. That's this next thing. To be successful, students need to plan for time outside class. You have to prepare for lecture, come to lecture, and then study for exams. And so there's a sort of a time calculation for how much time you can expect to spend. For each 1 credit, you can expect 1 hour in class and 2 to 3 hours of work outside of class. So 1 credit would require a total of 4 hours of work for the week. So you can see that it's a time commitment, but remember, it's a year or 2 years, depending on the program that you're in. So it's limited. Obviously, we're mindful of the fact that students have to work. So it's important to think about how much time you're working and how much time you need to spend on school. I also am a big one on taking breaks. I know that I become non-productive after a certain amount of time, and I need to walk away from my desk or take a rest, whatever it takes, so that I can come back and be productive. School is like that as well. You do need to take care of yourself. And the thing about nursing is you're going to be taking care of others. If you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to have the energy to take care of others. So it's really important that you take breaks, you rest when you need to, and you take care of yourself. Your job outlook, I'm going to start with that, even though NCLEX is first. The job outlook is great. There is absolutely jobs immediately after you finish school. The thing about your clinical experiences is they're like one long job interview. So if you do well in clinical, people are going to notice you and they might tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, when you're done with school, we'd love it if you've come work with us. That's a great way to make connections. When you complete the programs, whether it's the RN program or the PN program, you do have to take a licensure exam to become either a registered nurse or a licensed practical nurse. It's the RN is the NCLEX RN or the NCLEX PN. We do embed preparation throughout the program and include a final in-person review to prepare you for the exam. I can't speak to the PN pass rate, although it's always been good. We paused the program this past year, so we'll have numbers for you next year. But the RN program is 95% or better with first-time success on the NCLEX. In New York State, after the RN program, you are required to earn a bachelor's degree in nursing within 10 years. It's the BSN in 10 legislation. It's actually worded a BS or higher in nursing within 10 years. So if you already had a bachelor's degree in something else, you could do the RN program and then go into an RN to MS program. Just putting that out there. And I'm happy to talk to students about in that situation as they get close to the end of their program. I want you to find the best program for you to meet this requirement. We do have schools visit campus throughout your program, so you can find the best program that's going to work for you. And so there's tons of opportunities online. You know, there's discounts, all kinds of things. They're respectful of the fact that you're working as a nurse.
Right. So we are going to finish up with some questions that were submitted when you guys registered for this session. I'm going to just go over quickly the admissions related questions, and then I'm going to pass it over to Martha, and she's going to answer just a couple of nursing related questions. So the first question was related to the practical nursing program, and it was, when is the next acceptance semester for program enrollment? So that would be fall 2027, and that's the case also for the nursing program. So as we discussed, that application will open on August 31st. Next question would be, what additional courses do I need to take to qualify for the nursing program, and the most efficient way to do it and succeed? So if you want an unofficial review for eligibility, definitely contact the admissions office and we can do that for you. Speaking to us is going to give yourself the best idea of if you are eligible and ready to apply, or if you need to take any prereqs for the program. If you want to discuss the best courses to take, that's where I would suggest reaching out to the Student Success Center to talk to your success coach or advisor. Next question, I was not able to take the nursing program because I didn't have an 85 in bio. I'm currently taking nursing classes and wanted to know if I'll be in the program for next year. So you will need to reapply for fall 27. We can never guarantee you a seat in the nursing program, but as long as you take the courses that you need in order to be eligible and you apply by the February 1st deadline, you do have a very good shot of getting a seat. Grady, what's the major thing nursing looks for to be accepted into the program? We look at the admission requirements. So meeting the admission requirements is the number one thing to be considered for the program. What classes can I take to make me a higher priority pick for the nursing program? How soon can I apply to attend the nursing program? So first, you'll need to meet the admission requirements, as we said. In terms of quality ranking, successfully completing co-recs and possessing any additional qualifiers will award extra points. You can apply starting August 31st at 8 a.m. And again, to reemphasize, you should only apply when you're eligible for the program. how to become eligible through liberal arts. So that would be by completing any prereqs required for the program. And again, just contact us in admissions and we can help you look over your eligibility. Is there any chance of accessible resources for people with a disability? Yes, definitely. You would want to contact our accessibility services office and they will work with you. Am I able to get into the program without having A and P in the past with multiple enrollments? Anatomy and physiology is not required for enrollment into nursing. Students who have had a grade of less than C or passing into the same bios are not eligible for the program. So again, for the admission requirements, we require a college level biology course with a grade of C or higher. That includes an in-person lab or a chemistry course with a grade of C or higher. So it doesn't have to be anatomy and physiology, but definitely completing those bio courses prior to enrollment will just put yourself in a good spot for success in the nursing program. Currently, I'm raising my GPA. And my academic advisor told me to take A&P1 in the spring and A&P2 in the summer. Will I still be able to enroll? Yes, you can apply for nursing as long as you meet the admission requirements. When do you first apply for the nursing program after your first semester of prereqs? Do you have a higher chance of getting into the program after doing your prereqs? What are the requirements before and during? So, same old stuff we've been talking about. You can apply starting August 31st at 8 a.m. You will want to apply only when you're eligible. And then to be eligible, again, you have to meet the admission requirements. If you meet the requirements after the fall semester, you can apply when fall grades post. Applying before February 1st gives you the best chance. Do I have to start from the beginning if I'm a licensed practical nurse? All students are required to start at the beginning at Nursing 1. What prereqs do I need and the cost? So again, contact us and we'll go over your eligibility. And there is a cost breakdown on our website for the RN and PN programs. And we're going to send you an email with links once we conclude the session to everyone who registered. So you'll get information about that. Last question. What is the process for the readmission into Nursing 112? The readmission process includes picking up a readmission form in the nursing division office. That is B138, completing it and returning it to the division office with a statement about how you plan to be successful. If you are not currently an active student at SUNY Niagara, you also have to reapply through admissions. Seats for students who are readmitting are limited, so there's no guarantee that a seat will be available. And actually, we have one more question that's related to student success. Can you please explain how I register by myself step by step? We kind of went over this before, and we talked about the block registration, and then past the first semester, you are registering on your own. So if you do have additional questions, just contact our Student Success Center, and they can help you with that. So I'm going to pass it over to Martha to answer the last couple nursing questions.
So one of the questions was, how are clinicals assigned and what are the current facilities that the school works with for clinicals? As I mentioned, the clinicals are Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the RN program, or Monday, Wednesday for the PN program. You will register for a clinical section, and then the nursing program tries to accommodate the day and time listed. We unfortunately are at the mercy of the clinical sites that we get from our agencies, the days and times, as well as when our clinical instructors are available. So we never guarantee a time or a site. We work with all area facilities in Erie, Niagara, Orleans, or Genesee County. We also work with long-term care facilities, hospitals, and community-based sites. The clinical I can get into kind of in your first year of the RN program, you're going to do 6.5 hours per week. So 1 day per week for 6.5 hours. In your second year of the program, you'll do 12.5 hours. The second year of the program is a little bit more diverse because you do multiple different settings within the year. It's actually broken up into 3 different areas, and your lecture content matches the setting where you're doing clinical. So you can connect the lecture with the actual hands-on work. The PN program is very similar. In the first year or the first 2 semesters, you do 6.5 hours per week. And then in the summer, because those courses are compressed, you do 15 hours per week. And the summer courses also have a diverse number of settings. And again, the lecture does match the content for the program. Was there another one? Oh, no, that's the last one.
All right, so thank you for attending. We hope that this was helpful for you. If you have any questions, please let us know, and we are going to follow up with each of you via email after this, so be on the lookout for that. And otherwise, everyone have a great day.